finishing up practice here. It's the beginning of the season. Everybody's fat and out of shape, including myself. And so this student comes up to me. He said, I don't feel good, coach. He runs over to the trash can. He starts throwing up. So he's throwing up. First year wrestler, out of shape. His thighs are burning, heart beating out of his chest. And we talked for a minute, and so he cleans himself up a little bit. Tears running down his face. He's a hurting puppy, right? And so I look at him and I say, this is the point where a lot of guys have quit. I mean, you're over here throwing up, you crying, and everything you're doing right now. All those seniors and juniors and three-year wrestlers out there, they've been through the same thing. I did the same thing when I first started wrestling, and this is the point where a lot of people don't come back tomorrow. They quit. And so I gave him a minute to think about it, and so I asked him. I said, "Hey, so are you gonna quit?" And he looks at me and he says, "I'm not quitting, coach. I'm not quitting." I said, "All right, man." Put my hand on his shoulder and I said, "See you out there on the mat again in just a second." So that's a beginning of a conversation I'm going to get to have with this guy in the next couple of days when the opportunity presents itself. And I'm going to, be able to talk. So we're doing our FCA Pursue devotions after practice on Wednesday, and I'm going to get to talk to him about John 6, 66, 67, 68, where Jesus is preaching some hard things. He's saying some hard things, and they don't want to listen. They're not sure they want to keep following, right? They want to bail out, and some of them do. And Jesus looks at his disciples and says, this at this point. See, that's the thing. At this point, at the point of teaching something that they didn't want to hear, they quit. They walked away. That's what Jesus said to the disciples. He said, "Look at there, your buddies, some of your people over there. They quit. They're leaving. Look at them." And what about you? Are you going to quit? Or are you going to keep pursuing? That's the question I'm going to get to talk to the guys about on the wrestling team. One of our devotions after practice. Are you going to quit following Jesus when all your friends quit following Jesus? Are you going to bail out when you are reading God's word and you just start discovering, that what you thought he was, he's not? You're reading God's word and you start to realize I've made God out to be something that when I read the Bible, I find out he's not like that. And so it's going to be a good talk and good lesson to be able to talk to the guys about here at the beginning of wrestling season about bailing out and quitting when it gets tough. God's already working. I can see where so many conversations I'm having with these guys, and he's working in their hearts. And so I'm looking forward to the rest of the season, being able to finish and continue so many conversations that I'm already having with the guys about loving God and pursuing God and following Jesus. They're discovering what Jesus meant when he said, "Follow me." So it's pretty cool.